Thank you for inviting me to your cave.
You are most welcome, Queen Tara. We will need to go through the third, deeper water pool to get to the gem cave. Would you like to have some tea and nibbles before we attempt to go through?
That sounds lovely.
Nothing better than a nice chamomile or jasmine tea to make you feel better after a tiring day. I have some shortbread or ginger biscuits.
Are they gluten-free, dairy-free?
Yes to both. I always remember to check allergy information. I shouldn't really have dairy myself, but Ruru really can't have it. And I keep them gluten-free just in case Sable drops by.
Thank you. I love how there's much more allergy awareness and acceptance, maybe, in the Little community. Maybe I just meet more of those who have allergies themselves. Still, it's appreciated. I'll have some jasmine tea. Thank you.
I remember the law changing in Scotland to enforce the labelling to have all major allergens marked in bold. It really made checking much easier, and yet there are still people who didn't understand the importance of it. I agree the Litromantic community does seem more clued up on the importance. I think that may be due to the fact we have so many different species as well as different dietary requirements.
Yeah, we have the most common allergens in bold on foods in the supermarket, but cafes and restaurants are not as easy to work out, nor do some of them care.
So have you finally settled in to the job as being queen? I mean, after being part of the Horde last World War, that must have been hard to come to terms with. I completely understand if you don't wish to talk about it. It can't have been a pleasant experience.
As for being queen, well, I'm still getting used to being the face of Corruptora. I'm much more used to being a help in the background, so being at the forefront all of the time is... let's just say I'm learning a lot. And the war? Well, that was a lot to process. Most of which still needs to be processed. Have you been undead? It sometimes seems so different. Just between us, sometimes it was easier. The Horde mentality takes over the focus of decision making. You don't have to worry about what others want, because they all want the same thing. Just how each of us went about it might be different. But what we did, yeah, that was terrifying.
I've been in the background for the most part. Now I have the library key, I'm starting to be more involved. I've never been undead, so I don't really know what to expect if it was to happen. I have to admit there's a small part of me that is curious to find out. I mean, it's more likely, what with being a bodyguard. I would much prefer it to be me than Erin, after all. Battling the Night King, that was intense. I really don't want to have to do that ever again. It's left me feeling so much more drained than I ever expected. My scales have dulled, and well, I am finding it so hard to fly. That is why I'm glad to be able to show you the gem caves. They help to rejuvenate me.
Please don't be too curious. At the time it felt... well, there was a lot less of feelings actually. But coming back from that? Oh, that was intense. I am still feeling the after effects of that. I wasn't able to fight between my normal self and the self that bore the Horde mentality. I had died and the Horde took over, but I watched it all. I do hope your scales get their shine back. It was impressive what you and the others did for Erin. Thank you for doing it, and for all of you coming through it alive. I'm glad you have something to rejuvenate you. Gems. I'm not entirely sure if they have power or just hold power, but I have used a few myself. Okay, maybe more than a few, yet there's still so much I don't know about them. They are so fascinating.
Yes, gems are fascinating. I believe they hold the power more than create it. At least I did before I found the cave I wanted to show you. That oozes with power. You'll feel it for yourself, and I'm not sure if that's because it's been infused with it or if it's producing it. If you have finished your tea, we can head along there now. I have the water breathing spell I spoke about before, so you can access the cave. I really do have to find another way to get there without having to swim, but I don't want to ruin the cave either. So are you ready to see the wonder of the gem cave, Queen Tara?
Oh yes, let's go!
You okay there, Queen Tara? It can be a taxing swim. So, what do you think?
Wow!
Do you like it? Do Do you have gems like this at all in the cavern?
I haven't seen anything like this at the cavern. There are caves and there are gems, but so far I've seen them sparse out and intermingled. Ooh, this is wonderful. Yay. Hey, do you think gems would be partial to holding the power of filks? Like, infused with song and ink?
I think the song would really make them sing more, yes. The only thing I've done with them so far is to use some of the amethyst to cross the animal carvings I gave to each house leader. Do you still have yours?
Yes, I do. I've placed it on one of the shelves in my office. The one kinda adjacent to where Squish keeps their most prized hats.
That does feel better. Maybe I'll actually get some proper sleep tonight without the nightmares.
I do hope you sleep well tonight too. Nightmares? I'd rather not have any of us have them. I do hope they keep away.
They should. Sorry to be a rude host, but I might just stay here and sleep. Stay as long as you wish. I'm glad you got to see the cave.